Welcome to Origin Stories. I'm RD.
I'm Parrott.
We're telling stories behind the digital art revolution.
Each week we interview top artists
and live stream with the community.
Let's go. Today is tomorrow's origin story. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo.
What's going
everybody? All right. We got Defaced with us today.
Hello.
How you doing,
What's
brother?
happening? Yeah, good, man. Yeah, good. Just been moseying about today. Nothing. Just sort of took the day off. Just been filming some bits in the garden and watching some bits, and yeah, just trying to decompress after everything that's been going on, really. But yeah, how are you getting on?
Doing good, man. Just got home last night from the East Coast, and feels good to be back home. The fresh air. It's so humid on the East Coast. It's nice and fresh here, so that's nice. Maybe I'll get a little bit outside time today. Besides that, though, everything's been good.
How long were you in New York?
Like 16 days.
Oh shit, that's a good stay.
Yeah, a good amount of time. We got like a house sitter for our cats and stuff, a friend of Lauren's. So yeah, everything was all groovy. It was nice to get away for that long too. I usually don't get to do that.
Did you make it to PA?
No.
Never made it.
No, we were in New York the whole time.
All right. It sucked you in. It kept you there.
It did. It really did. Yeah. How about you, Robert? How you doing? What's up with you?
Good, man. Good week. Good week. It feels like July feels like building month.
Oh,
It just feels like good building month.
It's brilliant.
Summertime. I know there's still like collectible projects popping off. We can talk about that a little bit, but other than that, it just feels like a good time to head down, take concrete steps in the space. I love it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to be doing a lot of building this month. So.
Oh.
Yep. Not saying anything besides that, but.
All right, that's all we get for today.
Yeah.
Speaking of building, last week here on Origin Stories, we had a chance to talk about a puppet. And now the very man behind the puppet is on screen. And I feel like Defaced, can you tell us what's going on? Give us as much of a tease as
yeah, I'll give you everything. I've got the storyboards here, and yeah. So I've always liked Jim Henson and just Sesame Street, and Jim Henson's one of my top 4, top 5, just sort of creative minds, and yeah. So I just thought that's just sort of the concept was just like I just want to sort of touch on all these creative sort of pillars, like I don't know how, but something to sort of connect you to them. So that was sort of the idea. And then I was looking through Google for guys to make it, and there's a guy called Chris Barlow, and he's done a lot of work for. Do you have Legoland in the US? It's like a theme, Legoland theme park. So he done some for the UK one. They have like puppet shows, so he done a load of their puppets, and like he was making this. He was working on NDA. I don't know. He just told me, but the new Star Wars series. So he was doing stuff on set there. Then he's like headed some projects on Sky, which is like a broadcast station here. So he's done loads of cool work, and I just thought, I want to do a fucking puppet, and whatever comes from it. And I really like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I'm not sure if you've seen that.
Yeah.
So Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is like, I think that's got to be one of my top like sort of art films, if that's what you'd regard it as. But if you haven't seen it, it's just so British, but then it's got the puppets, and it's just like fucking crazy. And so all that shit sort of mixed out. That took a few months. That took a good few months because it's all by hand. So so then we're going to film some stuff. Then we've got a studio in a few weeks, and we'll be filming then.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's epic, dude. I love the evolution of your character that at least personally, like I've got to witness over the past year or so. I love where it's going.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think it's also interesting to sort of see, not to get too conceptual, but how a character can go into products and sort of branch out as like almost like from an artistic, but you know how Warhol sort of looked at sort of products and like mass production, and like seeing how you can sort of explore that as well as a concept, like how to do it yourself from scratch and like with like zero resources compared to like a massive franchise company, and sort of go through them steps and develop all these products as well. That's been really interesting for me, just from like looking at from the inside, because you don't see all that shit like Nintendo. You don't even see inside their office. Like it's so cut off. Like you don't see any of their development process. Like they might release like one concept art book and all the shit's finished. Like it's not a fucking concept art book. All the shit's done. So I think it's interesting to sort of walk through all that shit and develop it all. And yeah, then hopefully we'll have something cool coming. Hopefully a couple months, but everything takes so fucking long. It's just like mind numbing. But it's what it is. We'll be geared up for next time, I think. So. Yeah, it'd be cool as fuck.
Awesome. That sounds cool.
You know what's amazing to me? It's like Defaced. You're a lot of your NFT artworks are so like you're one of those artists where it's immediate. It's just like that's Defaced, and it's just like a space unique unto you. And yet, I feel like the setup of your Starman character, just I guess how you birthed him, how you conceptualized him. It feels like he fits a number of different outlets. Like seeing him in statue form, in NFT art form, in statue form, which you showed a bunch of teasers of, in puppet form, which now we've seen a bunch of teasers of. I always feel like he translates naturally. It's the strangest thing to me. I'm like, oh, of course he was built for that. Oh, of course he was built for that too.
Well, yeah. So that's such an interesting idea. Like, how do you develop an icon? So obviously it's to do. So if Coca-Cola was a shit drink and they had no like the logo would just die. Do you know what I mean? Like it would be like nothing. Like if the first Mario game was shit, Mario wouldn't be remembered. Like because Mario is such a good game, it's remembered. So like you got to have that sort of tie. Then with like if you look at Mickey Mouse and Mario, like they have such big IPs as well as good fundamental like character design with the shape theory and like. But how do you make a design memorable? Like what fundamentally do you do it? And I've watched like loads of videos and sort of explanations, and a lot of the times to do with combining simple shapes. So Mickey Mouse 3 circles, then Mario you can sort of break down into circles. And I thought with Starman, like I haven't seen maybe like Steve from Minecraft, like an iconic square head character. There probably is going to be some, but with the square and the two sort of semicircles. So that's where it sort of birthed out of like just sort of maybe subconsciously exploring them ideas and how does that translate into different arenas and spaces. And I think I kind of got lucky with somehow how I just stumbled upon it, but then like to be able to reiterate and stick with it and like think there's something in there, I think that does take a bit of faith. But yeah, I definitely see what you mean, but I think I'm really interested in that, like pushing a character into different realms and yeah, just developing an icon really and see how it goes. Because there's definitely some characters in the space which are interesting, like Aku. I think that's like a cool idea, but I think I'd go a different way than he has to how he's done it. So I think it'll be interesting to see where people go with these characters. Like, what you're actually going to do with it? Is it just going to be on art pieces? Is it going to be like story? Like, he's obviously got the Netflix shit going on now, so that's going to be cool. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm interested in them sort of ideas.
One of my favorite lines was I showed the puppet to my wife and daughter, and I was like, "What's the first thing that comes to mind?" And they're like, "Sesame Street." Yeah. That's on Sesame Street. And I'm like, "Not yet, but I wouldn't put anything past the face."
But them cultural ties are so important. That's how pop culture sort of develops in street culture, and like it's almost like nostalgia based. It's like, oh, you see this? Well, this is over here as well. It's like sort of them ties. Like, how do you do that? Then puppets are like you have such like a lot of kids have like a connection to them and like other pieces of media and like it's just all interesting shit to me, and I think my brain sort of just navigates it like quite naturally just because it's what I'm interested in. So I just it sort of goes through subconsciously, and I sort of pull bits from here. But yeah, like the idea of tying it to Sesame Street, and like it's already a place for people to connect to it. Like it's not like a totally weird concept out there. Like so these are all just sort of just shit going on in my head, really. I don't talk about it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, everything that's successful, I think, has a reference point. Whether it's like music, like new music that comes out right now, you can be like, oh, this sounds a little bit like this band I used to listen to when I was 13, and that's why I like this new music that's coming out. And with movies, Same things. They reuse storylines and like plot themes all the time from older movies because like people like what's familiar, but they also like stuff that's not familiar. So like you can
definitely
find that perfect balance in there.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of fan art accounts do well, because it's like, oh, I like this style, and I like fucking Tyler the Creator or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like you're onboarding people through another cultural reference point. So that's similar to what you're saying. But yeah, sampling and music as well, and like how you make beats and DJ and all that stuff. Like David Bowie through all his eras, he had like his Plastic Soul era where he went to like work with Luther Vandross and a bunch of like black soul singers, and he sort of took all their reference points and put it into his music. Then he'd go over here and like work with these people, and I think that's what interests me. That sort of hopping on and off different cultural points.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, man.
By the way, some hellos in here. Scribs Lucid says hi. What's going on? And Victor Mascara says, my boys. What's up, Victor?
What's up, man?
So, guys, the NFT space right now. The NFT space.
They say it's not dead anymore. I don't know.
It is definitely not dead. and with that said, I still think it's in this state of change. Like I just think we're in this state of change that's probably not going to end anytime soon as things get figured out, as the space got too big to handle in any one place and then fractured all out, and everything sort of changes, and we see where the attention is, and that attention is fickle and it's changing, not necessarily minute by minute, but sometimes it feels that way.
Day by day.
Sometimes day by day. But how about a little around the horn here? Just like state of affairs in the NFT space as a whole. What have you noticed? What are you noticing? I'll lead because Defaced, you dropped a name in there. Next origin story, by the way, next origin story interview is Micah Johnson. Yeah,
all right,
Micah Johnson. So going to Christie's, Micah Johnson, of course, and Dirk Vandermeer heavily involved in that project, and that's the Coup project. Christie's opens tomorrow and lasts for 2 weeks, I believe it is. But yeah, I'm excited. Micah was a joy to talk about, talk about the whole project, his journey to getting there. And he was one person, I sent this tweet out afterwards, but you go into something with a high opinion of the person you're about to talk to, just based on what you've observed from them, based on what you've heard from others you respect talking about that person.
Yep. And
then that person still manages to either meet or exceed those expectations. He definitely, for me, falls into that category. Solid human being. And just really excited in general to release the interview, and then of course to see everything that he has in store.
Very cool. Very cool. Cannot wait for that. Yeah, man. I feel like I've seen a lot more like I guess public interest again in NFTs in the past week. I've seen a lot of artist sales picking back up a little bit. It was definitely like for like a month or two, and now I see that traction building again. Whether it's Super Rare, whether it's Foundation, been seeing a lot of like big photography sales on Foundation, which I absolutely love. I felt like a lot of photographers and just photography in general kind of missed out on the first big boom. Where like. There might have been one or two big sales, you have your JN Silvas and etc. But like for the average photographer out there joining Foundation or Super Rare now or whatever have you, I've seen those sales start to pick up a lot, 10, 20, 30 ETH sometimes for some photography, which I think is super awesome because I love photography. So it's cool. It's cool to see that pick up a lot.
Mike DeMazzo says, what's up, fellas? What's going on, Mike? Thanks for joining us.
Shall I jump in?
Yeah.
Well, real quick on the photography point. And Harrison DS97, how you guys doing? What's going on? We got our community in here. I love it when the comments get going. It just adds a nice special vibe. By the way, anyone tuning in, feel free to pop a question in. We're doing a bit of an NFT state of affairs, going around the table, topics that interest us. So if you have something that's interesting you want to drop a question, please feel free to do so. Parrott, on the photography point, before passing the mic to Defaced.
Yep.
So Cactus just jumped in with that 30 ETH purchase of the artist is escaping me. We probably should get that. I just want to make sure that proper credit gets due, but it felt appropriate to what you were talking about. I'll find it if I have to double back on it. But I mean,
Kath Simard, I think. Kath Simard, I think is the name.
There you go. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep. Kath Simard on Les Depart.
30th. Have you seen what's included in that NFT?
Was that like the getaway package?
Yeah, 5-day trip for one person. Yeah. And like teach her how to take photos and shit, and that's cool as fuck.
It's so cool, dude.
That's sick.
It's one of those out of the box kind of things that it has utility, you know.
But that's the shit that needs to be pushed with NFTs. Like everyone's missing a fucking trick. If you're not doing that sort of stuff, it's like, well, fucking hell, guys, come on. Yeah, man. No, yeah, I'm just glad I'm seeing less collectibles on my timeline. To be honest with you, I'm fucking sick with them. I'm just gonna be honest. I just don't have any interest in them.
Me neither, man. I mean, we talked about it a little bit last week, and you know, I feel like maybe last week and the week before that, it seemed like maybe for like weeks before that, it was like every day there were like Yetis and new things and everything popping up just too much, and everyone just like taking money from the last, flipping it, put it into the next, and it was like some crazy musical chairs.
That's all it can be though, isn't it? I don't believe anyone really, like, maybe Bored Apes was like, when you see a few and you're like, oh, maybe there's a community there, but it's like that can't be anything else other than buy and sell. There can't be. It's like you get tipped off early, you buy in. It's like it's just got to be that. I can't see any other way, except the exception, I'd say, with the collectible stuff. I like as Kid 8. I've spoke to him a bit, and the way he approaches it is he's sort of using the collectible as a way to engage everyone, familiarize everyone with the character. Then he's going to go off and do some other shit, but
right. Got it.
Yeah, I don't even see what he's doing as.
Yeah, and talk about it's interesting to see. It makes a massive difference.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't.
You haven't seen what he's doing.
Sorry, bro. Freezing all around.
Go.
So I was just gonna say I don't see what he's doing as collectibles in the same vein as what we're seeing from a number of these projects.
So, what's he doing the same? Sorry,
No, I'm saying I think what he's doing is different.
Yeah.
I don't see that as the same ballpark at all.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's such a different way to approach it. I think that's the way people have got to approach it. I got approached the other week to do a collectible, and they're like, "Yeah, you can just make the art, and we'll pay you a flat rate." I was like, "Oh, fuck, am I going to do that for?" But then, if I start doing that, it's like I'm putting my style on there, and I think my style now means more than just like client work. Now I think it's like a different sort of thing now, so I have to sort of be careful where I take an opportunity, because people are going to see it and go, "Oh, fuck, the faces," obviously, and you don't want to like fog people off as well. Like if you get involved in a project, like a lot of people do, and they push it. You're seeing all these YouTubers now get bitten in the ass because they will I think it was like the FaZe Clan, some people in the FaZe Clan. Did you see all that stuff? I was looking into it last week, and I think they're doing like there's a coin or something called Save the Children, and it was like under a charity premise basically. And like then people bought into it, and they got given a load by the owner. Then they sold. I think they just sold it basically as it went open, and they made like, I think they only made like 10, 20, 30k, like nothing like insane for them to be living in mansions and driving Lamborghinis. You would feel it would be silly money, but it wasn't like they risked their career basically for that. Now one of them's got kicked out FaZe Clan, but it's like it's just becoming so common for all this shit to sort of like. It just sort of bleeds into crypto, and I think that's what taints it for the public as well, because it seems so scammy and like dodgy, and like especially I don't know. I feel like when you have like all these collectibles and OpenSea and stuff, like if I was looking at it from the outside, I was like, it doesn't look as clean as like Super Rare or something like, or Nifty did in its prime, how they set up their drops, and it just looks like fucking, oh, this is legit, and have legit names on there. So I think it's a lot to do with image as well, when we need to engage the public, and how you present that, and that obviously requires funding and people who know what they're doing and people willing to build, and obviously understand that there's investors and stuff. But yeah. Kid 8's good.
Yeah, you just have to be careful as an artist getting involved in that kind of thing, I think, because like you were saying, right now, like our brand, we need to preserve the longevity of it and the authenticity of it, and that kind of stuff can very often come across as cash grabs, you know. And a lot of times it just is cash grabs, and you know, nothing inherently wrong with cash grabbing, I guess, if that's what you want to do. But it just doesn't, you know, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, we've all got bills to pay, haven't we, and taxes and shit to pay for. But like, it's like you get like I know like as well like with everything sort of slowing down. I remember you said it last time. I think we spoke, Parrott. Like you're reading them emails again. You're like, is it worth doing? Because I might need that few grand. And do you know what I mean? Like it's hard to tell where the next sort of thing is coming from. Like when it was maybe February, March, it's just like every other week you're getting like 20 DMs. Do you do this? Do you do this? Do you do this? And you had more opportunities to say no. And when them opportunities go away, you're second guessing everything, and you got to play it a bit smarter, I think. And it's best to preserve your brand, I think, over everything. Just fucking stick with it and be stubborn.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm honestly glad it slowed down a little bit. It's giving me time to think and reflect, and you know, like contemplate a lot about what I want to do as an artist, you know, career-wise, and like how I can use this space to like uplift myself and my community with some crazy ass projects that a few months ago everything was so crazy I could hardly think about the next day, not the next week or the next month, you know.
Yeah, it's so intense. I remember talking to you about it, Roger, and you were sort of giving me a few principles, and we were talking about zooming out, and I think that was in March. I think we were talking about it, so that must have been like when it was heating up. So even then I was talking to you about just fucking like stepping away, and you were talking about building and what do you want to do, like just asking me sort of questions, and you come to your own conclusion because it's like, well, this is what I want to fucking do, and you sort of figure out yourself. And yeah, it's the best way to be, I think.
I hope my advice held up.
Oh mate, it's fucking no sound.
Cool.
Don't have any money, living on the street. No, it's fucking sound, mate. It is sound, honestly. Like you're the most reasonable person I think I spoke to about these things, and like, yeah, and you know what you're fucking talking about. Like I got some guys like around that time asking to be my manager, and I think, do you know KSI, the YouTuber? He fought Logan Paul and started the boxing and stuff.
Yep.
So his manager contacted me with another guy, and they wanted to get into artists and managing people, and they just don't see eye to eye. Like I was trying to talk them through this idea of Starman and the Star make a living in this. So do you want to do a whole fucking deck? Tell us the whole story, all the characters, and we can like pitch it around. I was just like, no, you're not. You don't have a fucking clue what we're on about. So yeah, I think having someone like you to just sort of help and guide people, and you got time for everyone, man. So I can't suck and speak your praises enough.
Hey man, I'm glad it's especially for those people like I was saying this last week, but Defaced, man, you were there from the beginning for Parrott and I, as well as we were just building this and getting out there. I've always found you since day one to be someone who's here for the right reasons. Obviously, like I said, such a distinctive approach and such a mind for it, man. You were guest number 3 on Origin Stories for the full interviews, and man, I came away from that. I'll never forget it. I'm like, Defaced is a ball of fire and just gets it. So
I think it was pure nerves, to be honest with you. I shit myself after I saw fuck render, and I was like, oh fuck. He had a good story, and I was like, oh shit. And I was like, fuck, man. You put fuck render in front of me. Going on his Instagram, I was like, he's worked for fucking Supreme. I was like, oh fuck.
It all worked out.
Here we are. We're all friends. Yeah. It's crazy, but I love that shit. Like when I spoke to Fred, like the day after or whatever, and it's like I wouldn't have fucking spoken to Fred otherwise. Like, what the fuck? Like, he probably wouldn't have even checked his DMs. So just being able to connect with all these different artists like Victor as well. Like, I got a load of his work saved on my Pinterest from like a year ago. So just being able to connect with all these people and interact is just like surreal for me, just as a fanboy, really. So it's like it's cool as fuck to even sort of be in a conversation with these people. It's cheating.
Yeah, same, dude. It's that's one of my favorite things about the NFT space. Just like all the people that like I fucking, you still obviously look up to, but like, they seemed like these like this upper echelon of artists. And I look at them, I'm like, oh, those guys they got it. And then now they're like all my friends, and also like the coolest people. How lucky are we, man, that we get to be in this community and talk to all these artists all the time. It's something special. It's one of my favorite parts about the whole NFT space, I think, is just like all of us together figuring this shit out.
So it's such an interesting time, and it's like it does feel like a bit of an art renaissance. Like the big renaissance periods are when there's money put into art, and that's when art becomes the forefront. So like if you go back to the Renaissance period, it's had like sort of Warhol period when there's so much money getting pumped into art. Then you get these superstars. It's like, oh, there's these superstars now. It's like, well, yeah, because you're giving them an incentive to work, giving them money, giving them more money to like create a team. Like there's such an incentive for artists to sort of compete. And you see how Basquiat fucking talks. He wanted to box Warhol, like that sort of mindset of like, I need to get to the top and be the best artist. I want to be a fucking star. So like with NFTs, that gets a bit of drive in people, and like you get these melting pots then of just fucking bunch of artists all together. And this time it's on fucking Twitter, it's online, so it's like it's even mad. It's like the 21st version of it, which we're seeing. So yeah, it's fucking it's a fucking insane.
Yeah, and I think when like artists like when there's not that money being pumped into the artists, then artists have to work a job and they have to do shit like that where they just don't have time for these crazy ideas. Like I've been able to do stuff this year that I was like, maybe like I can save a bunch of money up, work in a job, take a few months off and work on some crazy project. But now like I don't know, I see longevity and the potential. And I think all of us do.
Yeah, it turns into a career, doesn't it? And like I was talking to someone about this because they were like, I can't remember who. I think it was my barber. He's like, "Why are you doing digital art? What's all this shit?" And I was like, "Fucking hell!" I was like, "You got to think the probability of us getting into an art gallery, like just like I know Christie's and stuff are sort of like, oh yeah, we learn NFTs, yeah."
Uh-oh.
He was going to make a big point.
I was like pretending to freeze as well, so like.
Which then makes me think, I'm like, am I freezing?
That's me. It's my English connection over the pond. I was just saying, like, the chances of us getting into an art gallery pre-NFTs is like that. It's fucking minuscule. Like, you have to know someone, basically.
Yeah. It's transatlantic connection.
I know, right? We were rolling along there for a little while.
I know.
Check in on the community here. VJ Mechanic says, good day, everybody. What's going on? J Ram, good to see you in here. It's weird when you realize these art magicians are actually human beings. It is true. And a lot of great human beings, too. Mike Damaso says, just being able to connect with artists on a one-on-one level adds depth. 100%. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. And now you're stuck with me. So, and Snail is here. Snail sends a snail and a carrot. What's going on, Snail? Good to see you.
Snail and a carrot.
I think here comes Defaced back. Let's see.
We're good.
You're back, man.
Fuck. I'll get to my point eventually. Sorry. Rambling on.
I'm like so curious where your point is now. It's been building for like 5 minutes. Bro.
Anyway, my point was the chances of like an art gallery, like looking at on Instagram, finding these digital artists, putting them with their own exhibition, it's not going to fucking happen. Like it's just not. They're usually rich kids with connections and like they know someone. And like I was listening to an art curator and she was
no.
JRM says, "Oh, it's the internet connection. I thought he was just sprinkling in dramatic pauses."
Those would be some great pauses if you really held it for that long. Oh, he came back with the lights off.
What's going on? Holy shit! It's one of those days. It's definitely one of those days. Anyway, I think you got my point. You got the gist.
All good. Go ahead, Barrett.
No, you go ahead, Roger.
I want to circle back to collectibles. Okay. Because I know. But I want to use it to make. I want to use it to make some constructive points about why it's happening, how it keeps going, the impact it has on the perception of the market, and that I think Defaced, you said it, but the perception from the mainstream when seeing that, it throws it off a bit, doesn't it? It's when you see that repped over and over again. Now, I don't want to do the blanket statement, all these projects are shit or say anything like that, because there probably are gems in there, right? And I think Bored Apes is shot to the head of the class. They've been incredibly innovative. I want to give the team there a lot of credit for everything that they've done. Like they kind of caught the wind in those sails first, or close to first of this run. And man, have they run with that ball. It's like you get handed the ball, they have just crushed. So anyway, I don't want to I want to use that positive example, but now I'm going to say something about the majority of other projects. Not all, but the majority of other projects. When you see that repped from an external standpoint, yeah, NFTs do kind of seem like a scam. Like I'm just
sure.
It kind of just seems like, what the hell? Like what is this actually? And so I want to be empathetic to that, because I think there's a conversation there. And I think there's a conversation with somebody who says that, and it's like, maybe I can understand why you might think that, and then expand the discussion from there. And then you can either go to the positives of collectibles. Like I said, there are some examples. You can go to CryptoPunks and Meebits. You can go to Bored Apes. You can highlight like what certain teams are doing really, really well, and you could stick there. Or you can expand the conversation out to fine art, out to different forms of utility and access and all that stuff. So that's my first point. Defaced, go ahead.
Well, like, you put a Marvel skin on it, you put a Pokemon skin on it, totally legit. I don't have a problem. Like the public is just going to come to that in swarms, but I think it's just too early. Do you know what I mean? It's just that too early. Like you saw Marvel getting involved. Like imagine if they'd done like fucking baseball card sort of shit and Pokemon cards and all that stuff. So I think that's like the perception. Like it's a lot of it is shit art. Like it's not good. It's just objectively, I think it's just bad. So like I think that doesn't help. Then like you're seeing these crazy prices as well, like hundreds of dollars, like just like getting chucked about like it's nothing. And but I don't know. Yeah, there definitely is good points to it, I suppose, but I don't know. I can't see it. It's not my cup of tea, but I bought a Bored Ape.
It actually reminds me of Top Shot, which I think it was one of the first collectibles in this sense, a little bit different because it was officially licensed by the NBA, I believe, and they're still doing shit. I still get emails from them. But I think, I don't know, they kind of fell off a little bit, guys.
Yeah, they definitely dropped the ball.
Well, wait, so, all right, Top Shot.
Yeah.
As long as that partnership exists.
Yeah.
That to me is C-ball, hit-ball value. I'm not saying appreciate. I'm not saying it will appreciate, but I'm saying C-ball, hit-ball value. You can make real world proxies to a very hot card collectible market. You can even chart decades of that card collectible market in physical form. That's gone over. It's gone on its own roller coaster ride over time. It's gotten hot. It's gotten cold. It's come back again. Yeah. You can look at scarcity over there, which is an important thing, an important factor at play when it comes to cards. You can look at the memorabilia aspect, like will this moment or will this representation of this player stand the test of time? Is it one of their first moments? Is their rookie? Is it their inception? Does it represent something that was particularly meaningful? Like you can chart that, and you can look me in the eye, and I'll look you in the eye and be like, yeah, there's something to Top Shot. Like there's no question. As long as that relationship stays and the IP is real, it's like, yes. Yeah. Now it's just about then looking within the project and saying what moments will retain, appreciate, and what moments will very clearly depreciate, just like basketball cards have for generations, right?
Yep.
And then you get into the avatars and the collectible projects and the profile pictures. It's like, okay, is something going to win? Yes. Are avatars important? Yes. Are metaverse is important? Yes. Will we care about our appearance in these digital worlds? Absolutely. But come on, like with the supply and the repetition, they're not all going to matter, and not even the majority, and a vast minority will end up mattering. And so the point that I just want to make is everyone's playing a game right now, and some people are playing different games than others. The primary game that's being played right now is trading, liquidity, and repetition. And along the way, other people think they're playing different games. They're getting kind of roped into it and eventually getting left to dust. And it's happening over and over and over again. And so it's like, I'm a cynic, but I also do believe probably, I don't know anything. This is pure speculation. There are probably the same teams behind so many of these projects. There's the same, let it be said, right? It's just pure speculation. That's my speculation. Same teams are behind a lot of these projects. The same process is behind a lot of these projects in terms of ramping them up, in terms of flooding the discords, in terms of inspiring FOMO, and rinse and repeat. And man, like, let it just be said, like, that's what's up. Like, that's, in my opinion, just what's going on here. And so, like, listen, if you want to play, like, get in there, hunt for rarities. Who's the last to hold the bag? Like, if we want to play those games, awesome. Like, more power to you. I just think, like, let's just talk about it a little bit more. And again, trading and liquidity are important. Like, they are actually important parts of a value equation. They matter. They matter. And primarily they matter in the short term when it comes to these projects, but they matter. And it's why $2 million of a collectible are flying off the shelves within 24 hours, within hours. It's why it's happening. They matter. And so it's just like taking a step back. What are we looking at here? What kind of games are we playing? Just if you are in it for that game, get in there and go mash. But we probably move on from that game in short to mid order here. I don't know exactly when, but it'll happen. And so anyway, I just like, let's at least like pull the curtain a little bit back and talk about what's going on, because I think it's useful. It's important.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude, if I wasn't an artist in this scene, if I, look at it from the outside, I was just talking to a buddy the other night. I said, dude, like, we could like literally just like not do anything else but sit back and make collectible projects every week, copy and paste, change the art, blah, 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 choose a random theme of the billion themes out there and make millions every month. Like that's what these people are doing. Unfortunately, it's, taking money away from the community that I care about. I think it's making some people in the community rich, but it's also, it's like musical chairs, and someone's going to be left out. And I think overall it has probably a negative connotation in the scene. But that's what's happening, And I saw Giannis and I think maybe Artifact Studios talking the other day about utility. And like the collectible utility, like that utility is fun. It's just fun to ape and shit because it's like gambling. And a lot of us are fucking degenerates out here and like to gamble. So like that is, it's taking advantage of that utility, which is just like gambling is fun, especially when you're doing it with a bunch of people on the internet at the same time. And there's just always something new coming out. So like it makes sense why people are doing it and why it's making money and flying off the shelves. But I get, that we take it back to sustainability, longevity. I don't think hardly any of these projects are going to last. And a lot of people are losing money on it. A lot of artists, too, who are seeing collectors buy stuff. And, like, I'm in a bunch of group chats. And these artists who are coming to the scene are like, oh, should I buy, like, this project? Like, maybe I can, get rich off of this because no one's buying my art right now. And that hurts my heart.
But get this. There's 2 layers to the gamble. And, again, it's just, for me, it's just about calling a spade, and like you understand the game, and if you want to go play, hell yes. But to me, it's like there's 2 layers to the gamble. The first layer to the gamble is the rarity gamble, which I get. I totally get. That's fun. That's fun, and it's the gateway, and it's the gateway drug in a lot of different cases. Who doesn't? I mean, in my world with my like friends back in the day, it's like who doesn't like to rip a pack of like baseball cards and like you want the insert or the rookie or the rare card. It's like hell yes. You see like the glint of it. You pull it back. You're like, oh shit, I got that. That's like amazing. Scratching a lot of ticket. That's so much fun. It's so much fun. I agree. But the second layer of the gamble is, I think, the thing that's being lost for now, but will become crystal clear 3 months ish from now. The second layer of the gamble is, we're dealing with like, so in baseball cards, let me just use that example, or basketball cards since we did Top Shot. How many brands of cards are there? Not that many, right? There's Panini, there's let's call it 5 brands, 5 major brands.
Yeah.
They're all somewhat time tested. They're all somewhat market approved. You can make your bet on one brand over the other. Maybe you have your preferential brand, but you kind of know, like if you buy any of those brands, there's not going to be a rug pull the next day. Like that brand's not going to just go away, right? So the second layer of the gamble here is there's 5,000 fucking brands. And it's like, and they're not time tested. And there's no guarantee that like, that's the second layer of the gamble. and that's just like, just be aware. Just like, there will be a couple winners and a ton of dust. That's it.
Yeah.
There's 2 layers to the gamble. I get why it's fun. Be aware. Go do you.
Gamble responsibly or not.
Gamble responsibly or deliberately irresponsibly.
No, never. Fucking hell, man.
Which there's a time and place for, by the way. There's a time and place. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird, isn't it? It's just so fucking weird. I don't know. I just feel like there's going to be so many people holding bags. It's just...
A lot of avatars.
Yeah. I don't fucking know, yeah. I'm sort of over it now. I think people will do what they want.
Exactly. And I don't want to tread on that. Like,
yeah,
at the end of the day,
fucking like.
Yes, I just want to talk about it a little more because I think it's like the unsaid thing right now.
Yeah, it is. It's insane. It's like so clear, and it's like no one said anything. It's like, yeah, I bought 5 of these fucking cat, dog, fucking litter thing. What the fuck is that? Like every other week, I don't know. It's just insane. It's like if a new. Like, I remember when I was younger, and there'd be like little plastic collectibles come out, and then that'd be cool for like a week. Then like there'd be another one, so I can sort of see like. When I was little, like having like Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and there'd be another one come out. So yeah, I definitely. But that's like when you're 6 and you probably won't resell it, and it's just like, yeah, it's a different thing. But I can empathise with it, and especially if you can make money. If you can, any way you can make money, people are going to do it. It's like when Nifty Gateway were doing like open editions. Like my mates would buy them, resell them in like an hour. You made like 300 quid for doing fuck all. So it's like, it's just the same. It's, to me, that's the same. It's probably like the same sort of people doing it. Like it's like wherever you can make free money.
Mm-hmm. And that's the trading and liquidity side. Like there are a number. Like there are a number of reasons. And short, mid, and long-term positive to engage in that. Like, yes, absolutely. And it is parts of the crowd just like going around and figuring out where and how. And there's a strategy to it, and that's completely understandable. And I wonder where the tide turns next. Where the tide turns next in the space. Like, I think that eventually this will have its run and it will shift somewhere else.
Yeah. One other thing I don't like about collectible avatars is it throws me off my game when I'm on Twitter and suddenly everyone's profile picture is like homogenous. You know,
dog.
Like, yeah. You know, like, oh, today is pickles, as Mike in the comments said. You know, the next day it's all these cats. You know, it was Bored Apes for a minute. Still is a lot of Bored Apes out there, which is fine. At least the Bored Apes, very colorful differences. I get used to it after a while. You know, we even saw that with CryptoPunk. That I think now, you know, obviously CryptoPunk's avatars, it's like the OG shit. But you know, when the NFT boom was happening in March and everyone was buying CryptoPunks like that, I think maybe that was like the first inkling where I was like, oh, everyone's a CryptoPunk now, which is cool. But then like it just keeps changing, bro. I feel like it's bad, especially with artists. It's like it can be bad for your brand to do that too, because I think the profile picture you have on Twitter, like a lot of times I don't look at people's names when I'm scrolling through Twitter. I'll look at their profile picture and I'll be like subconsciously almost like, do I give a shit what this person has to say? Oh, their profile picture is someone I've been following for a while. Yes. And then if they switch it up, it can throw me off. And I think not even like a conscious level where I'm thinking about it, just like mindlessly scrolling through Twitter, it's important long term.
That's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, it's like Coca-Cola changing their logo to like a random stock they bought. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like, they just took a screenshot of the GameStop. I bought 200 of this shit. It's like, fuck off. Yeah, I know what I mean. I just don't like to have a conversation about being brands, but at the end of the day, you've got to be able to market yourself, and it's important to keep consistent and have an image and all that shit. But yeah, I don't know. I think people will always do what they want. But yeah, I think if you want to sort of stay on top of it all, there's a few things you've got to follow, I suppose, isn't there?
Guys, I don't know what to do. My wife is telling me I need to ditch these headphones. She's like, you need to ditch the headphones. Use the AirPods. I'm like, I don't know.
The old cans.
I have a fellow headphoner on here.
I like the headphones.
I feel like we're like an old radio station or something. We're all sitting around with it.
Yeah. I wish I had headphones to use.
The
But
cans
I
on.
don't.
No.
I have AirPods, but I've never connected them to my PC. I don't know if they can even do that.
They can.
Yeah, they go on PCs.
Yeah.
Windows. I'm sure it's Bluetooth, I guess, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys never hear any echoes from me, right?
Nope. You're all good.
All right, cool. I'm just blaring you guys on my speakers right now.
Parrott, all this time, we've heard nothing but echoes. Since the beginning of Origin Stories.
I didn't have the heart to tell you, bro.
Can I give a shout out to someone today?
Yeah. No, not today.
Not today? All right, I'll wait.
Actually, yeah.
You guys, do you remember, definitely, I feel like we've talked about him on Origin Stories, but Kobe, you know Kobe? The artist? Kobay. Parrott Maker's Place, if you have it to
sure
rock and roll.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right?
Have you mentioned this dude before?
Oh hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I recognize this.
So I have Mike Damaza says, Parrott, I thought the echo was part of your sound design. So I'm a huge fan of Kobe. I have been since the beginning. I remember like finding some of his earlier art pieces. It was like during the phase of Maker's Place where I was like really getting in the exploratory trenches. Defaced, that was when I found you, man. I'll never forget that day. It was right in early Starman era. But man, I remember finding Kobe, falling in love with his art, like those super, super detailed illustrations. The bull is one that, I love it so much. But get this. So I got to give a huge shout out to Kobe. I'm going to give a shout out to one thing. I received a package late last night. And let me just show you one of the things in it. I'm just going to focus on one thing because I think it's so special. I think it speaks to the human being, the artist. And so, yeah, just want to give him a shout out. I have several of his works of art. But check this. I'm going to take these headphones off. I'll be right back.
I hope it's not something weird. It's going to be like a tooth.
Tooth. I don't know if anything can beat Beetle's pubic hair that he or not.
Yeah, that's what a fucking weirdo.
What I missed, guys?
I was just talking about Beeple and his locks of hair and his packages.
We're trying to figure out what you're going to show us.
So we chatted about like family and kids and whatnot, and he had asked about my daughter, who's 3 years old, and was asking about her favorite characters. And I had sent her, I had sent him her favorite character, and this is a little while ago. And man, so one thing that you may see on there, it's applicable to some of his artworks, but he does like this mosaic stonework.
Oh, that's cool.
So check this out.
Oh,
that's beautiful.
Wow.
So this is a mosaic stonework. It's like a number of cut stones, and man, just one of those blown away moments. She was thrilled, and
you've still got it.
What's that?
You've still got it. Have you not given it to her?
Oh yeah, that's right. Stays in my office,
bro.
Bless her.
We are gonna be hanging it on her wall in her room.
Oh, wicked.
That's so cool, man.
What does he put it onto? It looks quite thick.
Yeah, the stones are thick, and it's like, yeah. J Ram says, "Wait, those are real tiles of stone, not digital." Yes, they are real. They are real tiles of stone. Can you see that?
Wow, yeah.
That layer of stone.
Oh shit!
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. That's brilliant.
And they're all like the little, I don't know, the little stones around the eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that, but
yeah,
it's a lost art, isn't it?
So it's on like it's on a canvas actually.
Oh shit!
It's on like a solid wood frame canvas.
Oh, I didn't know they'd stick to that. That's awesome.
Yep.
Shit.
Wow.
So anyway, huge heartfelt shout out to Kobe.
What a cool
today.
guy.
Very cool guy.
That's so awesome, dude.
And speaking of, I don't know, Parrott, your point about just the NFT space as a whole, a lot of the connections that have been made, a lot of that special vibe of the space, people supporting one another in general. Like, man, there are certain moments that we'll can't ever forget. And that's one of them, you know, like receiving that package and I don't know, like the connection to a family member who then sees a piece of art, a work of art.
Right.
That connects back to this relationship that's been forged and other artworks that her dad fell in love with, you know, online. Like, it's just it's a pretty special thing. So very, very, very appreciated.
Yeah, that shit definitely cuts deep, doesn't it? On it, I've done that piece from that Benny NFT. Do you remember with the little girl in the bed and the animated piece?
Yes.
And yeah, that's fucking. Just to see her reaction, and she done her own drawing of it and all that shit. It's just like, it's cool making money, but that shit is just like you can't buy that. You can't buy it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Defaced, that artwork of yours is special, man.
Yeah, it's cool. I really like it. Yeah, but she come up with the concept herself. Like she was like, I want werewolf in it. I want this character in it. I want all my friends in it. I like rainbows and rockets, and it's just like I got a list of shit. Like I was like, okay, I got to put this in, that in, that in, that in. So yeah, it's all like just from her. So that's probably why it feels so childlike. And yeah, obviously Amoni animated it, and yeah, then yeah, it's fucking cool. That's such a cool piece. But her reaction was just priceless to it, and I think she's got it over her bed on like one of those screens.
Oh, that's cool.
Art Connect.
Yeah. Definitely.
J Ram says, "Oh my God, yes, he has a bunch of these pieces on his Instagram. That's such a unique way of working." Agreed. Definitely recommend checking him out on Maker's Place, OpenSea, and then social, Instagram and Twitter. But pretty great.
He has a process video on his Instagram. Actually, I want to share this of the koala. I think that'll be cool. Right here.
So good.
Right. So cool, dude.
You could watch it all day, couldn't you? It's like Bob Ross.
Yeah, you could upload those to YouTube, and it'll just be like those. I don't know what to call them, like the process videos on YouTube,
man,
where you just like zone out and it's satisfying.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking hell, that's cool as fuck. I love all that shit. There's so many like lost art forms which we don't see currently. So like I liked, obviously got the puppet made and like working with the guy who done the bronze statue, and like he gave me loads of videos of his process, and it's just so fucking cool. Like I think like that sort of having like a really sort of frontier edge digital like sort of presence, then like going back and working with someone, or like him working with mosaics, like the cross of the mediums, like that's just something special in that. I think like I don't know, it's just cool as fuck.
And it really drives home that cross, like what am I trying to say here? It drives home art in general.
Yeah,
like so many different tools for it, but it really, you could see someone working very detail oriented in like clearly a physical process video, and then we can flip over to Maker's Place and look at these digital NFTs, and that's interesting to me, being able to see that diversity of approach, and yet it all falls under that umbrella of art, art and concept. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I love that shit. Just someone who's free, isn't it, and just doing what you like. And like I was saying, that David Cho, I'll just run you through it basically. So I think he's a street artist and done painting, and he painted the walls in a Facebook office, I think, before they went public, and he got paid in stock. Okay. So I think they estimated 200 mil. I think he
wow
managed to make Yeah, so he was set up, but he's got such an interesting story. And basically, the premise is he'll have like a celebrity on, like Steve-O from Jackass, and he'll do a portrait of them as they sit there. And like he'll go through like their fucking trauma and that, and put it into the portrait, and they'll cut to some other shit, and they'll go with another celebrity. And but yeah, I recommend it. I managed to get it on some dodgy website because it's only available in the US, so I couldn't fucking watch it for like a week. But yeah, I binge watched it today. It's fucking brilliant just to see someone who's so just doesn't give a fuck with art, like just fucking does what they feel, and just so direct with the medium. It's just amazing. Like, yeah, it's
I like that. Good example. I love that Facebook story. It's like I don't know, one of those classic got the shares before they changed the way they were doing things, and then just wildly made out with it. But I'll check that out for sure. Giving a hello to Scott Barrero up in here saying, "Hey guys."
What up?
And gentlemen, I got a hop here today, just before 5 o'clock Eastern, anyway. But Defaced, man, I'm glad we were able to do this, and you got so much more mic time than before.
You're all American, aren't you? You can't find a way in. Fucking hell.
Man, we love it. We love that you were able to bring. We got the visual of the puppet today, which is an amazing segue from last week.
Yes.
But Defaced, as you freeze down there, I just want to tell you, man, we love what you're doing. Just see all the effort, all the passion, and just, I don't know, straight up talent, craft, skill. Any word you want to throw at it, we see what you're up to, man. We can't wait week over week to see what you're putting out on Twitter, how that's translating across mediums, and can't wait for next steps.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Well, yeah, I know you guys always kill it with whatever you do. Just fucking genuine. You just get some people who just do shit half-assed, but I think the way you approach the projects. So, if my Wi-Fi cuts out once more.
The face is ready to flip a table over there.
Oh, mate. Yeah, anyway, yeah, you're fucking brilliant, you two, yeah.
Thank you, man. Always a pleasure having you on here. Love to hear what's going on in your mind and what you're seeing out there in the world and stuff. You always bring a really good viewpoint to the show. So anytime you're welcome.
Yeah, man. I don't have much going on Thursday night, so for sure.
Hell yeah. Parrott, welcome home.
Thank you.
Safe flight tomorrow as you get ready to head out again.
Where are you going?
LA for 2 nights. Here and back again.
Oh, shit. Living it up.
In Parrott's tail.
Love it.
Parrott on the road. All right, gentlemen. Until next time. Catch you guys in the streets.
Yep. Nika Johnson, Origin Stories, dropping when?
Tomorrow.
Boom.
In line with Christie's. Go check it out.
Perfect. Awesome.
Aku, Micah Johnson, Dirk Vandermeer.
Artifacts, Origin Stories.
Yeah. Woo.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Thanks everyone for joining us again this week.